Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm starting with just raw chipboard, but you could do this on canvas or canvas panel or whatever. So the first thing I want to do is mix up a sky color, and I want this to be like a really pale blue, but any kind of light sky color will work. And I'm just using a flat synthetic brush, and I'm just going to cover about a third of the canvas at the top. And now I'm going to mix up a color for the lower part of my sky where the sun is going to be. So I want it to be kind of a warm yellow, a pale warm yellow. So now I'm just going to come on down a little more than halfway with that, maybe about halfway, I guess, down the canvas with that, and blend it into the top part. All right, and now I'm making a color for the snow, and I want it to be darker than that sky color. So just kind of it's a light blue, but it's not a pale blue. And I'm going to cover the rest of it with that. So now I've dried it, and I'm going to use what I call a fluffy hog bristle brush. It's just very kind of flared out. It makes good foliage. So I'm mixing up a dark shade and tapping it into the bristles. And the first thing I want to do is kind of make a stand of distant trees. So these will be like way back behind the bigger trees in the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of those in. And then I want to, before I move on, I want to highlight those, because it would be hard to come back and highlight them later after I've got stuff in front of them. So I want to get those highlighted with the blue, about the shade of blue that was on the ground. So I'm just going to highlight all of those. And now I'm mixing up a shadow color, but then I realized that I jumped ahead of myself. So what I want to do first, before I use that shadow color, is make a shade for about the color of the sky, the yellow part of the sky, maybe a little bit warmer, and brush it onto the ground like the sun is shining on the snow. So it's going to be kind of dry brushing and not solid. So I'm very lightly touching the canvas with it. All right. So that's dry. So now I'm using that shadow color, and with a round synthetic brush, I'm going to start putting in my tree shadows. So if you imagine that your sun is in the middle, then these kind of flare out from it. So just make sure you get that perspective right. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but they do need to kind of just fan out toward the front. So just as many of those as you want in there. And again, I don't want this to be perfect, so I'm trying to keep it very loose. So those are my smaller, more distant trees. Now I'm putting in some thicker ones for the ones that start closer to me. So I'm not starting these all the way back there at that tree line. I'm starting them, I'm trying not to start them all at the same distance, but I'm putting them closer. And I'm still using that same brush. I'm just putting more pressure down with it so that it makes a thicker line. Now mixing up some more of that dark shade, which is just black, blue, and red. And with that round brush, and I'm watering it down. And with that round brush, I'm going to start putting in my trees. So I want to start back here with the more distant trees, and wherever I see a shadow on the ground, I'm going to go up from it with a tree. And obviously this is not exact, and you want to keep it really loose, but it does still need to make sense. So with these distant trees, I just want to keep a very light pressure on my brush so that they don't get too wide, too thick. And I want to go all the way across the canvas. Now I'm going to start where my thicker shadows are and put more pressure and make my closer trees. So it's the same brush, just harder pressure. So each place where I have a thicker shadow, I want to come up with a tree all the way off the canvas. And again, this is watered down. It flows a lot better if your paint is watered down. Not so watery that it's too see-through, but just watery enough where it flows good. And then I want to clean up the feet of the trees because I don't want them pointed where I used that round brush. All right, so I've done that with all of them. And now with that fluffy hog bristle brush, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with those distant trees. I'm just going to tap this base color in, this dark base color. So I don't want to go all the way down to the other tree line. I want to leave some of that sky showing, but I'm just going to speed through this and get that base color in there. All right, so now with my lighter blue color, I'm going to highlight those. And I don't want a lot of highlight on this because the sun is behind these trees, not in front of them, so they wouldn't be very highlighted, but I do want color in there. I don't want these to just be silhouettes. Now I'm coming back in some of my bigger trees needed to be a little bit darker. Now I'm putting a little bit more of a highlight on these. I kind of like them the way they are, but for monitor purposes for the video, I wanted them to be a little bit brighter, but you might want to leave off this step just because, like I said, the sun is behind them, and so they wouldn't be very highlighted. All right, now with a flat hog bristle brush, I'm going to mix up a warm yellow, and I'm kind of dry brushing this on almost. But and my paint needs to be completely dry. My painting needs to be completely dry for this. And I'm just kind of scrubbing this color on right over those trees, but just back there where the sun is, and then some on the ground, just loosely between some of the shadows. All right, now I'm still using that flat hog bristle brush, and I'm going to start on my sun rays. So I just want to keep a straight line And then wherever my sun is going to be, I want to cross over right there and make, I think I ended up making maybe 4 of these. Yeah, I think so, which makes 8 sun rays. And I'm just barely touching the canvas, and I don't have much paint on my brush, and that'll create that soft sun ray look. And you can make some of these longer just for interest purposes. And now I want to go a little bit lighter and start brightening up the center of it. I'm not taking this all the way out to the ends of these. I'm just trying to brighten up that center part. A little lighter again. Do the same thing. And with the corner of my brush, I'm just picking up just plain white and just kind of tapping that into the center, so that brightens it up a lot. And that is it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and God bless you.